What's up? This is Adam 2 for 1. I meant to share the video that would really help me out. Alright, I got two topics. One is why conservatives so weak, and second is when is Europe going to wake up? And let's first get into why conservatives are so weak. The reason why they're so weak is because, truthfully, it hasn't really gotten that bad for them yet. The communities are pretty good. I've seen some of their communities. I've seen, say, I don't know if they're conservative or closet conservative. Meaning they don't want to reveal that they're conservative. Look at my last video why I know that most of these liberals, most of these are actually conservative people, but they just don't want to reveal it. Look at that, it's a pretty awesome video. Alright, so the reason why they don't fight back is because they really don't have to yet. It's not really that bad for them yet. So, because I'm seeing a couple of protests where, you know, because a lot of conservatives are pretty old, so they can only do but so much. And most of the time when you go to protest, you're not allowed to bring a gun unless it's like a gun rally or something. So they're not going to pull a gun out and just shoot anybody. you know, you'd have to be threatened first. You can't just shoot people. You say, why can't they just bring their guns and shoot some people? You can't just shoot people. That's against the law. But anyway, and they're pro-law. So you wait for them to fight back. Most of the conservatives are pretty religious. They believe in Armageddon. They believe in the end of the world. They're not going to fight unless they have to. And it hasn't really gotten that bad for them to want to fight anyway. So most of the protests are pretty minor stuff. I mean, you get banged on the head. I mean, I guess for the people who are in the middle, they'll be like, I would let nobody bang me on the head. I would fight back. I would hit them back. I don't think you will. I think most of the guys on the internet are kind of weak. They say, man, when we're going to wake up? Well, why don't you go over there and wake them up? I mean, he's like, when you going to wake up? You telling them to wake up? You want to tell Sweden to wake up, go over to Sweden and see how far you get with trying to wake them up. Most people are pretty weak, man. Most people don't want to get involved. Most people, we used to, if a guy was getting beat up, we would interfere with the fight because we knew there's a 90% chance he probably didn't have a gun, or have a knife or something. So people wouldn't get involved in the fight, because he wasn't afraid of getting shot. We were afraid that somebody's gonna pull out a gun or something. But now people got guns now. People got knives now. You don't know what people are gonna do. So most of the time people don't get involved because you don't know what's gonna happen. I mean, people get robbed in broad daylight now. So it's like times is different now. I guess we had slavery in broad daylight. I mean, maybe it's not really maybe it's really not that different. I don't know. But yeah, they're pretty lazy, man. Conservatives are pretty lazy. They didn't like Trump because he was too out there. And he's not Illuminati because the stuff he be saying openly. Because Illuminati, see, they don't reveal stuff. But Trump be revealing stuff, so he ain't no Illuminati. Good or well Illuminati don't like him because he got too much mouth. He openly says so much stuff. He says so much stuff. It's like crazy. And they don't want to, so the conservatives don't like Trump because they don't want to taint his brand. But I would say that there was somebody, probably a group of conservatives that paid Trump to basically destroy the conservative party from within. And it did work. The conservatives were being lazy. They had all this money, had all this power, didn't do nothing with it, wasn't fighting. You know, most of the Republicans are kind of weak, man. They won't get nothing done. They were getting tired of losing. They allowed Bush to go in there and mess everything up. So it's like, they was just like, you know what, we can't have this no more. We need somebody that's not like us. We need a fighter. We need a real person. And most of the people you see, they're not actually conservative, but they are sticking up for them. And the conservatives have no problem with it. Well, most do. Some don't. Some are pretty hardcore. So basically, conservatives got lazy, and they needed somebody to fight for them, so they didn't have to do it. And you do need to fight for them, because the Republicans have done so much. And they were against slavery. They were against Jim Crow. They were the majority voters on the civil rights thing. They were bringing in charter schools, so blacks or minorities can have access to better schools. So they have actually done a lot of stuff. So you do need to save the party and revitalize it and recreate it, because it needs to be saved. And forget those other conservatives, those clouds of conservatives are weak people. You need to separate yourselves from them people, because those people are lazy and they don't do anything. They got a lot of power and do nothing with it. You need to separate yourself from them people, because they're not fighting for you. They're lazy and I don't know what they're waiting for. But whatever. Do what you got to do. Alright, let's talk about Europe and why wouldn't they wake up. Okay, first of all, the reason why America is run by, let's say, Europeans and not Indians is because the Americans, that would say the Europeans wanted it better. They wanted it bad. They wanted it really bad. They wanted this country. They wanted to start over. They wanted to really separate themselves from the Catholic Church. Because the Catholic Church, they were crazy. They're probably still crazy now. But they was trying to separate themselves from that. So they really wanted America, and the Indians did fight Americans, Europeans, for a long time. Indians had access to guns and everything, but they wasn't really building anything. They were just fighting, and they killed their own people, raped their own women, killed their own old people. They did all kinds of insane stuff. It was like Indians didn't do nothing. Yeah, right. They were killing their own people, killing other tribes. They were doing all kinds of atrocities. And sometimes they were aligning themselves with the British and other European countries. They're going to say white man's the devil and white man's evil, and you align yourself with them. And you buy their guns from them. Anyway. So yeah, I wouldn't trust too much about Indians didn't do nothing. Yeah, right. They did a lot. I wouldn't trust too much into blacks didn't do nothing either. Africans do nothing when Africans sold their own people into slavery. And still do. But anyway. So the reason why America is owned by Europeans and not Indians is because the Americans wanted, the Europeans wanted it bad enough, and they got it. And they deserve it, because they fought for it. You fight for something, you really want it, you can have it. Alright. The reason why a lot of these countries like Sweden and let's see, what's back? What's going down? Germany. I think it's like Italy. Well, not France. Well, some people in France. The reason why it's going downhill is because the people don't want it bad enough. See, the Middle Easterns, so you can understand, the Middle Easterns are doing this thing called literal Islam. That's what they practice, literal Islam, not metaphorical Islam. They practice literal Islam. So whatever the Islam says they can do, they're going to do it literally. Alright. See, the Christians are waiting for Armageddon. But the Muslims, that's not what they believe. They believe you're supposed to fight all the time. Until you're supposed to fight until you have made sure that Islam is nationwide. That's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to convert people by force. And so that's why they had that ideology. And the Middle Easterns are doing that literal Islam stuff. And they want it bad enough. They would, like I said, they're doing this thing where they'll get in a truck and they will run over people. What did they kill? 4 people, injure 20. They'll get in the truck and murder, a whole bunch of people. Might next put a bomb in there. They'll strap themselves to a bomb. They'll strap a bomb on themselves, get on a bus, blow up 30 people, and kill themselves too. That's because they want their country bad enough. And they will get it. Because they want it bad enough. Because you don't want it bad enough, you're going to lose it. And it's the same reason why you have no-go zones in America. Because I ain't even know. You have no-go zones in America where only Muslims are allowed to be, and cops don't even enter those areas because they're mostly Muslim. Because they're sovereign. They police themselves. And police don't mess with them because they're mostly in towns where there's not a lot of police. You have no-go zones in Sweden, no-go zones in France, no-go zones in Italy, no-go zones in Germany, where it's like Muslim run. They have Muslim government, they got Sharia law and everything. You ain't entering none of them areas. And the cops and government ain't messing with them. And the government don't care because they want to increase the population. So they ain't going to do nothing about it. And you ain't going to do nothing about it because it doesn't affect you yet. So until it affects you, you don't care yet. But when it starts affecting you, yeah, you're going to care. And I'm not, to tell you the truth, I ain't even worried about it no more. If you're not going to fight for it, they will. They will do it for you. And they will get rid of you too. And they don't want you either. So because you're not fighting for it, and to tell you the truth, they just want your women. They don't want the men. They don't care about the men. They're trying to get rid of the men. They're just trying to get your women. And because you're not fighting for your women, they will get your women. Because you ain't fighting for your daughters, they will get your daughters. Because you ain't fighting for your grandparents, they will get your grandparents. So if you don't want it, they'll take it. That's why, the same reason why the Europeans run America now. They wanted it bad enough, and that's why they have it. Africans don't want Africa bad enough, Europeans will come in and take it. The Indians don't want India bad enough, Europeans will come in and take it. The Native Americans don't want America bad enough, Europeans will come in and take it. If you don't want it bad enough, somebody's going to come in and take it. Blacks didn't want their communities bad enough, white people moved in, turned everything around, gentrification, whatever they call it, came in, took it, made it all white. Now they walk around with dogs all day. Got coffee shops on every corner. You didn't want it bad enough, and the funny thing is, they did it without killing nobody. They fought. Think about it. This is how you defeat the black people in America. All you got to do is raise the rent, make it a no felony zone, meaning anybody with felonies got to go, and you can just wipe out all the black people in that area. You ain't even got to kill them. You put an abortion clinic on the corner, because Planned Parenthood is run 99% abortions. You put an abortion clinic on the corner, and you put liquor somewhere. ABC store, get ABC store, abortion clinic. You put that in the neighborhood, raise the rent, making no felonies on you, wipe out any type of black, but you ain't gotta kill none of them. So anyway, if you don't want it bad enough, they'll come in and take it. So you wait for Europe to wake up? I don't think they will, because they don't want it bad enough. Middle Easterns want it. They want that place. They want to take it over, and they're doing a pretty good job taking it over. I think it was, I don't know if it was Germany. I think it said it was like 10%. What was it? Was it Germany, or I forgot which place it was. It was 10% Muslim. I was like, dang, that's pretty good. 10%? Wow, that's a lot of people. People look at 10% like, man, that's not a lot of people. Nah, that's a lot of people. And now they're told to have 4 or 5 kids each, and they got multiple wives. It's over, man. And you say Europeans are weak, man. They don't think they gotta have a bunch of kids. You telling people have kids, have kids. You have this MGTOW, you had this feminism going on in America, you had all this crap going on in Europe. What are you doing, man? It's like oh man, you know what? I can't stick up for y'all people no more. if y'all don't want it, y'all you ain't gonna have it. If y'all not gonna fight for it, you ain't gonna have it, because they want it more than you, and they don't care. They will blow up themselves to get rid of you. You know, they will drive a truck in you know, into a group of people. They will do it. They already did it. So if you don't want it bad enough, you ain't gonna have it. So that's all I gotta say. But you know, you gotta really fight for your beliefs. And and that's on a high note. You gotta fight for your beliefs. You don't have to always be physical. You know, it's be mental. You know, because man, they don't care about no diplomacy. If they're willing to blow themselves up, you can't talk to them. You just gotta fight, man. All you gotta do is just fight. Fight for your beliefs. If you believe in this crap, if you believe in yourself, if you believe in you, if you want to conserve your values, then you gotta fight. If you don't, they're gonna get them. And you know what? I can't do nothing about what they do, because they really want it, and they're just showing you that they really want it. So do what you gotta do. You know what you gotta do. You gotta have some kids, man. You gotta have some kids. You gotta keep your culture to yourself. You gotta keep the culture in your community. Because hey, they had no problem keeping culture in their community. So keep your culture sacred. You know, whatever you gotta do. Because you know, because they're coming for your country, and they're probably gonna get it. That's true. So do what you gotta do. Alright, remember to share the video, comment, and like it, and peace out.